Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Hope y'all are doing well. Today we are going to be getting back into Gachiakuta episode 2. Y'all been thinking about this anime a lot the past week, waiting for episode 2 to come out. I definitely really like the concept. Obviously I've gone back and edited some videos for it, and I showed my girlfriend it as well. Yeah, I don't know. I like the concept so far. We'll have to see how this pans out with this big trash monster that appeared at the end, but I don't know. I think the concept itself is cool, and I think there's a lot of good potential here. So we'll have to see. Hopefully, it doesn't end up to be too trash. So funny. All right, let's go ahead and recap the characters from last time. We gave MVP to Recto, man. Just being the fatherly figure for Rudo. It seems like Rudo just had a very tough upbringing off from the start, with something to do with his father, and Recto always seemed to kind of be there to support him, taking care of his hands, just caring for him, providing for him, all that good stuff. And yeah, he seemed like a one of the good people we actually got to meet in the first episode, compared to a lot. For the best moment, we gave that to Rudo when he's falling down into the pit. Just that sequence in general was really cool for that episode. Funniest moment, we gave that to Recto, teasing Rudo about Chiwa, and yeah, I don't know. Him and Recto had an interesting relationship. I'm almost sad that we didn't get to see like more of that develop, but maybe we'll get more flashbacks of Recto though, because he seemed like an interesting character. For the Sacco, we gave that to Chiwa. Man, that freaking bitch, man. When I rewatched the episode, I was like, damn, this. It's even worse watching it the second time. Like, try to be understanding from her perspective, but like at the same time, I'm like, man, you were all about this loyalty and faith and belief, and then you lose your faith immediately when it's challenged at all. Yeah, bro, real rough. But yeah, I think with that being said, we can just go ahead and get into episode 2, y'all. If y'all enjoy these reactions, drop a like, subscribe, follow for more, all that good stuff. Check out the Patreon. We'll have uncut reactions there. Yeah, let's go and get this, y'all.
どうしてみんな汚れや犯罪者のことは異常に気にするのに、奈落に落ちるとどうなるか誰も気にしようとしないのか。
I just assume they're dead. Man, I wonder if there's something actually that is special about his eyes. Oh, back to the trash monster. Bro, it's like a freaking dinosaur or something. Oh my god. Sheesh. Well, there's your answer. A lot of people die. Man, those things look huge, but at the same time, like, for how big like the area is, they don't look that. They look kind of small almost. Yeah, is there such a thing down here? Yeah. Oh, is that blood? It's about fuel his rage. Yeah, he definitely has some kind of like innate power to him or something. How is he so strong now? Okay. I want to know about what's giving him this power for sure. Like, that like little red, almost like gas that came out of him, or aura. I don't know. Jeez. Yeah, he's bleeding a lot. Damn. This is just like because of how dirty the air is? Yeah, dude, what is that? It's almost like red electricity. Dang. That was cool. Damn, so he legitimately took them out. And that so there's like almost like blood on that? Just to make me think like what makes these big trash monsters alive is have to do with kind of like those assertions we got in the first episode about, you know, when objects are treated with care versus being thrown in the dump, what inhabits them and all that. Like are these like demons? Oh, dude. What the fuck, dude? So you kick the shit out of him, then you give him a mask. What? It's a trash monster. Not being quiet, bro. Well then listen. He's killing me. Spherites? Jeez. Yeah, for real, bro. I'm with Umbrella Man. Yeah, you really you made this guy crash out hard, man. Ooh. Oh, damn. Oh, here we go. Music kicking in. Goosebump time? Dude, the music in this, it's right up my alley, man. Flying down. This guy is smooth. Alright, animation kind of popping off, not gonna lie. You know, the monsters, they look a little bad at times with the CG and stuff, but like honestly, they've done a good job balancing overall. Like that was fucking sick, dude. Just a badass, you know. Engine. Yeah, man's got some aura with them eyes.
その格好は
こかされた
こかされああまたあのガキどもか
物は生きてるって言ったら笑われてどつかれたレグと前話してた長い時間物を大事に扱えばそこに魂が宿る
Okay, so Recto came from Recto himself.
それはあくまで言い伝えだから物は大事にしろっていう心構えみたいなもんだったんだろうでも俺は信じてるぞこのタオルにも魂があるから こうしてルドをきれいにしてくれているのかもな。
魂があんのか。
そうかもな。
このグローブにも。
ルドが大事に使ってやれば、きっといつか魂が宿るさ。
It's an interesting mindset. I like how Recto's kind of like, he's like, I don't know for sure, but that's how I, kind of believe it.
なんだよこれ。
よう起きたか。
お前さっきのクソ野郎。
エンジンだ。
Shithead engine.
態度がクソガキ。
なんだよこれは。俺は今すぐ上に戻らなきゃいけねえんだよ。
残念だがそりゃ無理だな。上、ここでは天界と呼んでるが。どうやって上空まで行くつもりだ？それに天界は常に移動している。
Got the little man's here. He wants to watch some trash anime.
この世界のこと。さっきの化け
Same
物のこと。
here, bro.
お前のあの力のこと。
キャンキャンキャンキャンいい加減。
Motor mouth. It's kind of interesting. He said that the sphere is always moving.
あれ話せって。
んじゃ、あとは頼んだぞ。
おい待てよ。まだ何も聞いてねえぞ。
Man, this is like making me think of like Fallout or something.
そんな、まさか。その服、君はもしかして天界人かい？君はどこから来たんだい？
These guys seem like they're up to no good.
すごい！本当に天界人？まさ
Oh,
か
maybe not.
何お前ら。
天界人も言語は一緒なのか？いや、嘘をついてる感じはない。生きてる。
These guys are funny.
それにしてもひどいな。こんな雑に拘束してすぐに外してやろうな。
エンジンってやつよりはまともな人間。
But are they actually?
これでよし。
Yep.
のじゃせっかくの天界人が天界人の体はな、とても高く売れるんだ。体丸ごとはもちろん、目、腕、足。
Oh my god. I wonder why they're so like, why they're worth so much.
気になるか？天界人を欲しがる理由。みんな煮込んでるからだ。
Okay.
お前たちはゴミを垂れ流す。そして降ってきたゴミはたまりにたまって毒の大気を作り、化け物までも生み出した。ゴミに潰された人間、土地が汚染され住処を失った人間はここには5万といる。そんな奴らがお前を見たら拷問か解体ショーか。お前撃った後俺たちも見学しなきゃな。
It's funny how much more he could relate to them than they think.
ちゃんと食べないと。世界のゴミみたいな食事はお口に合わないか。お互い展開。
Jeez.
あれガチの生ゴミだけどな。さあ食え。食って生きてくれ。
Ugh. Did he just bite his finger off? Oh, bro.
ゴミじゃねえ。まだ全然食えんだろうが。こいつもこいつも。
Yeah, I mean these shitheads.
あの下界だの、ゴミだの、族民だの。
He sees through all that shit. It's just everyone just shitting down from their perspective, bro.
お前らの都合で勝手に分別してんじゃねえ。
すげえエネルギー量。ルドが大事に使ってやれば、きっといつか魂が宿る。必ず。お前に力を貸すだろう。
Dang, dude, those eyes.
物に命を与え、力を引き出す能力者。ギバー。
So it's part of the whole power system.
あの鎖を狙え。ギバーは自分のものがなければ変な力。
Okay.
よし。おいマジか。
Oh, so is it usually only one? I guess like it probably depends on how much care they give to each object. Is it though? I don't know. This guy could use a few more fingers lost at least.
Yes? あんだけの力、やっぱ体が持たんか。
Okay. Gotta get used to it probably. Build up your endurance.
教えてやるよ。この世界のこと、その力のこと。その代わり、掃除屋に入れ。お前は掃除屋に必要な人材だ。嫌だ。
I don't got time for that. I'm trying to get back into the sphere. Interesting, man. We definitely got a lot of good context about the world and also starting to get some of the power system, which is cool. Honestly, I didn't really expect that like whole like the terminology or the phrase of like like the whole tree object care and spirit will inhabit it kind of being connected to the power system. But I really like how they've already connected that. I think that's really really well described. Yeah, seems like it's gonna be a pretty cool power system. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and talk about this episode for a little bit. Definitely cool getting to meet some new characters with Engine. I don't know. He seems like a pretty cool character. Just off the bat, like the demeanor of him kind of reminds me of the OP character of every anime, like Levi for Attack on Titan or something along those lines. That's kind of the vibe I get. The scene with him fighting the trash beast was sick, man. His umbrella and character design is just dope, and I like his like eyes and all that, really cool. We get to just meet grounders in general, and I think that's a pretty key point we get in these episodes is that the people that actually are living here, and I kind of assume there would be people like this or like another society, aren't just other spherites that have been tossed down into the pit because of punishment. It seems like usually spherites are actually killed, whether it's from the fall or the trash beast or from the grounders themselves. So the grounders are actually just people who have lived here, and we get a little bit of lore that the spherites, or people from the sphere, live up in the air and they've been throwing down trash for centuries, right? Since forever. And that's what has made the ground toxic to breathe. We see that with Rudo, like breathing in the bad air and spitting out blood. They all have to wear like gas masks, basically. It's created these trash beasts and stuff like that. So most of the grounders, it seems like they hate spherites. And we see that with Rudo's confrontation with these almost like human traffickers to a degree. Some kind of, they seem pretty sleazy, right? And they appear to be all nice and, more kind than Engine is, but really they are pretty disgusting, right? They automatically label who Rudo is based off his attire, that he's a spherite, and that means that he is picky when he comes to eating, he's stuck up, high class, all these different things. And little do they know is that there's just as much discrimination up there to a degree within the sphere. And I really like that scene with that one guy stuffing food into Rudo's mouth and, him talking about, kind of asserting and labeling who Rudo is, about him, not wanting to eat this trash. He thinks he's making him suffer because this is something a spherite wouldn't do, even though secretly these are actually their own food waste. It's not even just food waste from up in the sphere, it's their own waste. So in a way, they're being very hypocritical, right? And Rudo calls that out after fucking biting the skin off this guy's fingers. Nasty as hell, but really cool. And he's like, I'm sick and tired of hearing this, whether it's like spherites, this, grounders, that, waste here, waste that, right? He's kind of breaking it down from his own beliefs that like everybody's just looking at it from their point of view, from their perspective, from their vantage point, and they think they're justified because they're being mistreated by another person's point of view. But in reality, they all are kind of falling for the same shortcomings as people, in that they're kind of throwing labels on things or being wasteful in their own ways. I thought that was really interesting to kind of already level set the grounders to the spherites that, hey, like, neither of these people are necessarily good by any means. Honestly, Rudo is pretty freaking savage, man. He's a little feral beast biting these guys' hands off. The way he talks to Engine and fighting the trash beast, he's just a little cannibal. And in some ways, he's reminding me of Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. Sorry to make too many comparisons to Attack on Titan, but it's a show that feels the most similar with like the discrimination and segregation with the walls and you know, all these, you know, there's a lot of I don't know, mystery eluding kind of this world so far. So, but yeah, he reminds me of Eren a little bit, which is how feral he is for a kid. You know, maybe that's just because the way he was brought up or part of his nature in general, but yeah, he's a little savage, dude. Some of the other lore we got too was that, you know, outside the sphere just being up in the air, is that its location is always moving, you know, and Engine kind of, you know, says that because, you know, Rudo's trying to get back up there to seek vengeance, and he basically tells Rudo it's like, it's not possible right now. You know, there's other factors that play outside of that. They don't disclose that, but it's up in the air and it's moving constantly. So seems like that's probably why the trash pit is dispersed so much as well. If it's like constantly moving and where the trash is falling out from the pit, you know, there's probably, you know, whole air, you know, different areas where trash is getting dropped. And maybe that's why the spherites are like pretty anal about their trash, right? Like they take it kind of seriously. Like with Rudo kind of infiltrated, they'll trash us, and they had this whole very, you know, kind of, I don't want to call it elaborate, but it's a well-based trash system, and maybe it has something to do with them knowing that they're dropping trash onto the actual earth, right? And I think that's a key point too, is that the grounders or the earth, like that's the actual surface of this earth that they live on, wherever this is, and that the sphere itself isn't, you know, it's something up in the sky, and obviously I don't know what that is. It sure seemed like real Earth when we were watching episode 1, but maybe it's like a huge ship, or I don't know, maybe there's like a, you know, there's some kind of sky village or something. I don't know, but I think those are all really interesting little tidbits we got here to kind of connect the world or expand the world here. I really love this scene too with Rudo and Recto, kind of the flashback of them talking about, you know, objects' worth once again, and treating it with care, and it kind of bringing out a spirit to inhabit it, and you know, them talking about like the towel and that it cleans Rudo so well because they care for and take care of it. I just think that leads really well into the power system that we get more of here. Givers, right? Givers and cleaners. You know, Engine is a cleaner that seems to be some kind of organization on the grounds, I'm assuming, who go and try to, you know, fight the trash beast, or you know, something that is an implication of all this trash being thrown down. But I guess in general, givers are people who can give life to objects and then draw out the object's power. So it's kind of like you're giving part of your own spirit to them, but because of that, you get to harness their power as well. And Rudo does that with, you know, kind of, it kind of starts from his gloves, and that would make sense since these are like really special and important to him. And then it extends to like that chain, and then to the tire, or that like pipe that he used to fight the trash beast. I really like how they depicted it during the trash beast fight, where like he like is like looking out, and he like certain objects are like being highlighted in color almost, or illuminated in color, like there's specific objects that he could give life to. Kind of interesting. And I think a really big piece of this too is that both the grounders, or like the evil humans who are after him, and Engine himself, who is watching over, they're very surprised when he can use it on multiple objects. So maybe that's a very rare thing. For example, Engine, you know, we only really see him use it for that umbrella. And boy, is it a really strong umbrella, but you know, that is kind of some key information. Maybe Rudo is a little bit more, like he has a bit more talent with this because of the way he views or perceives the world, and like his attitude towards waste and treating trash with care. So maybe that'll be something that gives him a lot of power in this world. All right, let's go and get into the character ratings for MVP, best moment, and funniest moment. I'm gonna give that to Engine. I really liked his character introduction here. MVP, you know, just coming in and really saving Rudo. God, Rudo was annoying, just like not listening to him, trying to make him be quiet. Pain in the butt. That also reminded me a little bit of Eren, just kind of stubborn and shit. Best moment has to be him popping off on the trash beast. Like the animation was sick. I really love the umbrella, him like floating down from the sky. It was pretty funny, but also dope. Like as he uses it to like you know, kind of it's almost like a shredder or something, like a huge I don't know, like it just rotates so quickly that it just shreds all the trash. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the funniest moment was just him losing his patience with Rudo, just starting to yell at him like crazy. Felt good to hear him yell at Rudo. And then for the Sacco, you know, we don't get a name, but I'm gonna give it to the main you know, human trafficker dude who's kind of just talking shit and the one stuffing his food in his mouth. He deserved to get his freaking fingers bitten off, man. Fuck that guy. And they keep him alive, so maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of him suffer himself. But yeah, good episode 2, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Series is, I think, off to a pretty good start in my opinion. I'm really curious to learn more about the cleaners. It seems like, you know, Engine's going to try to recruit Rudo here, so hopefully we get a little bit more of that. Maybe we meet some other cleaners or get to know a little bit more about their goal. And I just want to like understand a lot more of like the grounders in general and kind of like what the breakup of the world looks like. And it seems like we're getting hints that it's going to be just as bad as the Sphere Above, if I had to guess. So, but good stuff. You know, appreciate y'all being here to watch with me. If y'all enjoy this, consider dropping a like, subscribing if you want to follow along for more. Check out the Patreon. You know, if you want uncut access, obviously won't have early access for this, but I mean, usually I get it up, you know, a little bit ahead of time if you know, want it up a day or two ahead of time. But yeah, I hope you all have a really good rest of your day and a good week, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.